because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Donald Trump has done it again. He's made history, but not in the way we want him to. Oh dear, we're not working here. We need to stop this and start over again. Oh dear.
Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Donald Trump has done it again. He's made history, but not in the way that he wants to. We'll talk about that. And is civility dead in the USA? We will talk about that, so don't go anywhere. It is the Karel Show. I am Karel. So very glad you are joining me. I hope you are joining me. We had so many problems here this morning, technically. But if you are here, happy Monday, August 10th. We're here, we're queer, you're used to it, or maybe you're not used to it. I don't know. It seems a lot of people online are not used to it. But that's that. Yes, everyone loves the photo of Trump with the afro. I love the photo of Trump with the afro, too. His hair has been a big topic of discussion, whether or not he was receiving gender-affirming care and wearing a wig. But, you know, I got rid of my mohawk, for those of you that have noticed. I don't know why, just shaved it off. I prefer if he'd do the Pippi Longstocking look. You know, I think that would be lovely, a Pippi Longstocking look. But, you know, what do I know? Okay, so we've got a lot to talk about today. A lot happened over the weekend, and I want to discuss all of it with you. I even made notes today. There's so many things that I don't want to forget because I get busy with you all and I forget. The first is Donald Trump has made history. He is the first U.S. president to lose a war. How about that? The first United States president in the history of the presidency to lose a war. That's pretty freaking interesting. That's, you know, the first. He is the first U.S. president to ever lose a war because he's lost the war with Iran. There's no two ways about that. And let me tell you a few ways that I know this. First of all, Iran is setting the negotiations, what they will accept, what they will not accept. When you win a war, Donald, in case you're watching, okay, because I know you do. So, Donald, when you win a war, you get to set the terms of the surrender of the people that lost. For instance, over the weekend, it was the anniversary of Nagasaki, dropping the bomb on Nagasaki. Hiroshima did not convince the Japanese to pull out of the war. Nagasaki did. Now, guess what happened? We, the United States, set the terms of how they were going to proceed to get out of the war. We did that. We told them they couldn't have a standing army. We told them all kinds of things, which they had to do to end the war. The Treaty of Versailles that ended World War II. We told Germany how it was going to be, okay? We told Germany, this is how we are going to end this war, okay? Germany didn't tell us. Hitler didn't dictate the terms of his surrender. In fact, he ended up dead in a bunker. So the notion that the Iranians would get to set the terms of the end of the war means we lost the war. Okay, that's what it means. Now, I don't care how you want to spin it or how MAGA wants to spin it or how Donald Trump wants to spin it. The fact is, to the victor goes the spoils. if we won in Iran, the strait would be open and we would be telling them the terms of their surrender. But they aren't surrendering. It's as if both sides are just saying, okay, we'll both just stop, and here's what we need to stop. That's not winning a war. Okay? The other way that I can tell you that we have not won the war.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel. Stream You Have to Be Proud wherever you get your music and let it fill you with the pride it filled me in doing it.
You have to be strong.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
So the other way I know that we haven't won the war is that Bibi Netanyahu has rejected Trump's 15-point peace plan and said no. So I guess it's Bibi Netanyahu that's in charge, as he has been all along, because he probably has blackmail on Donald Trump. This is the truth. If you come to this show, you better come for the truth, because I'm taking a lot of shit for saying the truth. We're going to talk about that when we talk about civility in a minute. So I'm taking a lot of shit for telling you the truth. Here's the truth. The United States lost the war that we fought on behalf of Israel. And now neither Iran nor Israel want to listen to Donald Trump, what he has to say or what he has to offer. So not only did we lose the war to Iran, but it's become clear that Netanyahu is the puppet master pulling the strings. And if you don't look at it that way, you're looking at it through rose-colored glasses, child. Okay? Because that's the way that it is. You know, I've been thinking a lot about the direction of the show, the direction of my life, what I want things to be. And one of the things that infuriates me is that the answers to most of our problems are self-evident. Even a fifth grader with our poor education system could figure it out. And we're going to go into that too. And one of the things that it's easy to figure out is that we lost the war. Oil prices went up today. Oil prices are up, grocery prices are up, there's an interruption in the world's goods and services. Iran has won the war. Donald Trump has become the first American president to lose a war. Now, I would argue that Nixon also lost in Vietnam. There was no winner in Vietnam. People say that we won, but we didn't. It was too long, too costly, too many dead. We didn't win that war. The Vietnamese finally just gave up. So, we didn't win. But this is really the first time a U.S. president has lost a war. And he has. And if you're MAGA, you should be ashamed of yourself. You elected a guy who said no unending wars. He got you into one that you now lost. And you're paying the price. At the gas pump, at the grocery store. Of course, now, can we buy groceries? Our food supply is tainted. So 7 people are dead from our corporate food supply, which we're going to talk about a little later as well. I don't know how I'm going to get to everything today. I really don't. I've got so much I want to talk about. Because over the weekend, oftentimes topics come from conversations here that I have over the weekend. So over the weekend, Steve and I were talking, as we always do, and we talked about traffic. And I said, it is 2020. Well, we're talking about traffic in the world in general. And I used traffic as an example of how things in this world are broken because corporations want them to be. Just like Iran. We spend $1 trillion a year on defense, and one 4-month war with Iran depletes everything? What have we been spending the fucking money on? Or has that money been going somewhere else? Occam's razor tell us it's been going somewhere else. And that somewhere else is into the pockets of presidents, senators, of defense contractors, but not into the weaponry and to the military that we pay for. Soldiers don't get the best care, they get the worst. There's hardly any food in Iran on the naval carriers. When my friend was in Afghanistan and Iraq, which he served in both, to hear the horrors of their food, what they ate, how they ate it, how they lived, it was disgusting. No soldier should live the way we make our soldiers live. And that's because there's no money. Then they come back and their services are cut. Their VA hospitals are a joke. Well, where's all the money going? Where's all this "we love our troops"? It's going into corporate pockets. But there is not a thing wrong in this country that couldn't be fixed and fixed within a month. Not one problem. The reason it's not? Corporations. How do I know? I came up with a solution for traffic congestion last night. I typed my solution into ChatGPT. I said, look, it's 2026. Why do people sit in traffic jams? This is ridiculous. You know, we should be able to figure out how to keep people moving without traffic jams. And then it gave me all this, we could do congestion pricing, we could do this, we could do that. Well, I said to Steve and to ChatGPT, the reason that traffic exists in America, the only reason, is that it makes someone money. That's why you sit in traffic, because it makes someone money. And let me tell you how much. Every year in America alone, and we are not the only ones with traffic, every year in America, 3.3 billion, with a B, 3.3 billion gallons of gasoline are consumed by sitting in traffic. That totals over $10 billion in profits for the oil companies every year. And to give you an idea of how much 3.3 billion gallons of gas are, that's 90,000 gallons of gas a day for 100 years. Every year in just America, we use the equivalent of 90,000 gallons of gas a day for 100 years to sit in traffic. Why? Because oil companies make over $10 billion in profit from it. I typed into ChatGPT my solution. It said that I solved the crisis. It said that. It said, yes, your solution would solve the traffic problem. My first thing was no corporate money in traffic. Okay? None. No corporate money in traffic. Meaning, take all the corporations out of transportation. Government should pay for your transportation. All of it. And you're like, what? If you need to get to work to pay taxes, government should get you to work. Period. End of story. So I told ChatGPT, first of all, remove corporations from all things related to traffic. No private corporations. No private corporations building roads. No private corporations building cars. No private corporations controlling oil. None of it. All of that controlled by the government. Yes, I'm a little socialist. Then I said, the suburbs. The suburbs are a scam set up for oil companies. That's who designed the suburbs. Oil companies. We need, in all of these suburban areas, to build city centers. So you don't have to travel 25 miles to a doctor. You don't have to travel 10 miles to a grocery store. You don't have to travel 15 miles to the courthouse. All of it should be in your community. So basically you could walk or bike to everything you need. Period. Period. And third, invest trillions with a T, just like what Pete Hegseth asked for, invest trillions in public transportation. It said yes, if we did that, if we invested trillions in public transportation, if we removed private industry from transportation, so no private trains, nothing, all of it run by the government. And if we built smarter areas where you didn't have to travel so far to get to services you need, we could solve the traffic problem. And we could. It's solvable. And if I came up with the solution without AI, then they've known the solution. The same with immigration. First of all, his brown shirts called ICE are a big business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. And these, quote, dangerous illegals are being hauled off to for-profit detention centers. But immigration has been broken as long as I have been alive. Why? Say it with me, because it makes somebody money. We could fix immigration tomorrow. You know how? Grant visas that are good for the length of time that it takes to get a hearing. Period. End of story. And while they are here awaiting their green card, give them a temporary work visa to allow them to work. Period. Problem solved. You give them a legal status until their hearing. If a hearing is, and mandate that all hearings must occur within that visa limit. So if you issue someone a 24-month visa that comes here for asylum, you can't say, oh, well, your visa expires in 24 months, but your hearing's not for 4 years. Nope. If you grant a 24-month visa to people coming for asylum, then under the law, their asylum hearing should be within those 24 months, period. The immigration system is easily fixable. Why won't we fix it? Because illegal immigrants make corporations billions of dollars a year in profits and save them taxes and all kinds of things and creates slave labor. You know, blacks just turned into Mexicans. That's really, you don't see black people out in the field picking your food, do you? No, you see Mexicans. You don't see black people building your houses, do you? No, you see Mexicans. Mexicans became the new slaves because they have to work and they can't legally work because of the system, not because of them. Most of you don't realize when you come in this country and you apply for a green card, you are told you cannot work until you are issued that green card. And that can take 7 to 10 years. So you can't leave the country and stay in the process to get your green card. And you're not supposed to work while waiting. That creates a no-win situation for the immigrant and a win-win situation for the corporations that hire them. All we did was find a new way to have brown slaves. That's all we did. And it's called a broken immigration system. And we have the nerve to round these people up like cattle, like rogue sheep. These are the people that are working in the nursing homes, that are working in the fields, that are building the houses, that are doing jobs that white and some black people will not do. And we have the nerve to say anything but thank you because we keep the system broken. Trump has done nothing to fix the immigration system. Nothing. All he's done is make a for-profit system, ICE, and detention centers, so that billionaires that own the detention centers can make more money. That's all he's done. He has done nothing to actually fix the system. He hasn't hired more attorneys. He hasn't put on more judges on the bench to handle these kinds of cases. He has done nothing to solve the crisis at all. Why? Because his big business friends don't want him to. But the crisis is easily solvable. Traffic, easily solvable. Immigration, easily solvable. Climate change, easily solvable. Oh, well, how, Karel? No fossil fuel after 5 years. A 5-year moratorium, that's it. For over 5 years, you can still use fossil fuel. After that, nope. Steve said to me, well, how will they make vinyl records? I said, they can make vinyl records out of anything. He's like, really? I said, yes, they can make vinyl records out of corn oil, and some places are doing it. Out of leftover fast food oil, they can make vinyl records. They can make vinyl records out of recycled plastic from the ocean. They don't need crude oil to make vinyl records. We don't need crude oil to make anything. We have replacements for every single thing that crude oil does. Why then do we stay on the crude oil? Corporate profits. So for climate change, first thing, no crude oil after 5 years, period, end of story. And don't tell me it can't be done. It can be. It's 2026. It can be done. There are solutions, but the way that we live is not the best way for us. It's the best way for big business. That's why we live this way. Because big business wants us to live this way. That's the reason. Pretty simple.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel. You know, Pride Month was rough this year. We had a lot of hate heaped upon us from Trump, from MAGA, and from other governments around the world. And if you are a trans person, you are really going through a particular type of hell right now. That's why when I was thinking of my next single in June, I sat down and I wrote, "You have to be proud." You have to be proud, with anger so loud, streaming everywhere. Keep fighting, keep singing, keep dancing. We're gonna win.
You have to be strong.
Now it's showtime.
Homelessness and poverty, easily solved. Easily solved. How? First of all, you take all the money that you spend on social service programs, all of it, and do a national salary. Every American that has an income of under $100,000, every American with an income, or you could even do a sliding scale based on income, a national salary. If you make 10, 20, 30 grand a year from your job, you get a higher payment. You make 100K or more, you get a lower payment or no payment. On a sliding scale, you do a national salary. And that way nobody falls into poverty. Ever. Ever. With the starting national salary being 50% of what people need to survive, which is $75,000. So the starting national salary would be $40K a year, or about $1,800 to $1,900 a month. And that's for the poorest of the poor. And then that would decrease as the more money you make. A national salary. It works. Other countries have done it. It prevents poverty and homelessness. It pulls people up instead of puts them down. Really easy to solve that problem. But that doesn't suit corporations. That doesn't suit big business. And that doesn't suit big government. Like the homeless problem. If all of the money that we donate through our taxes, here in Las Vegas, we pay $40 a year on every house, a homeless tax. That's millions and millions of dollars. They don't see that. Big government sees it. The homeless don't see it. They're still sleeping in the park. The brand new park they just built right by my house, the new baseball diamond. It's now 4 baseball diamonds, brand new. And all it is homeless. They should have just built a homeless shelter because that's what's living there. Fixable. But we live in a way that is profitable for big business. We do not live in a way that is good for us. Period. Just period. And that's until we change the very nature of government And until we change capitalism. And I know I've spoken dirty words. But until we change the way capitalism works, we're going to live lives that corporations want us to. Not lives that are good for us. Healthcare. That's easy. Medicare for all, starting tomorrow, period. No more insurance companies. Remove all profit from healthcare. No drug company profits, nothing. Healthcare should not be a for-profit industry. No company should make billions of dollars in profit off of your healthcare. Now, that doesn't mean they can't make money. That just means they can't make billions in profit off your healthcare. Because if a healthcare company is making a profit, it means they're charging you too much. That's what it means. That means they are charging above and beyond what that healthcare actually cost so they can make a profit. Nope. No. Remove all profit from healthcare by doing Medicare for all. Period. And then tell the companies what you're going to pay for those drugs and what you're going to pay for those services. Period. That's it. Medicare for all. Let everyone buy into it. Period. We own an insurance company. Medicare for all doesn't mean that it's all free. I would like to take the British system and merge it with the US. In Portugal, you can get free healthcare. But if you pay $70 a month, you can buy into the private system and get even better healthcare. That's the way it should be in America. Everybody could get free healthcare. Everybody. Free healthcare. But if you can afford it, you buy into the Medicare plan at $100 a month, $200 a month, and that gets you even greater access. Everyone still gets free healthcare. Everyone still gets everything they need. But then you have a private insurance of $70, $100 a month that augments Medicare for all and opens up even more places that you can go. No one will be denied health care, but if you can afford it, you could afford a private health care. That's a public-private partnership. It works in many countries, and it could work in ours. But we won't do it. Why? Well, United Healthcare, Cigna, Humana. They don't want us to do it. So they pay senators off who pay off the president and make sure that we don't do it. The only reason we don't have universal health care are corporations. That's it. Period. The only reason we don't have a national salary, corporations. The only reason we don't have a $10,000 electric car that we could actually afford to use, corporations. The only reason we don't have high-speed infrastructure that transports us from point A to point B, corporations. The only reason we sit in traffic, corporations. The only reason food prices are so high, corporations. The only reason you're struggling at your dining table, corporations. And the lack of government to regulate them, period. That's it. All of our problems could be solved tomorrow if we remove corporations from the very things that we need. Corporations should not be involved in transportation. Corporations should not be involved in healthcare. Corporations should not be involved in our food supply, our water supply, our air supply. Corporations should only be involved in things that are not necessities to life. Corporations should not be involved in internet. Corporations should not be involved in public utilities. They're called public utilities, for the love of God. Corporations should not be involved in any of that at all. None. Zero, zip, nada. And of course, corporations should not be involved in government. They should not be able to donate to politicians, to fund politicians, to spend money lobbying politicians. There should be a wall between the church, between corporations, and government. On one side, government, on the other side, churches and corporations. An impenetrable wall. And then we could live the life we want to live, that we should live, that we deserve to live. But we won't do it. Why? Corporations won't let us. That's why. Period. They will not let you. Yep, we're doomed.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Stream I Dance Because on all services.
The song is very, very personal to me, and the video now is very touching to me. I cried the first time. I cry all the time, but I cried the first time I saw it. We all have somebody, whether it's someone that's passed from AIDS or some other thing, we all have people that we danced with, and that's why we dance.
Stream I Dance Because on all services.
Now it's your time.
Stay tuned. In the next segment, I'm going to debut my new video for You Have to Be Proud, because it actually goes with the topic that I am about to talk about. So Perez Hilton cut himself up, and he's in the hospital, and he's going to be there a while. And many people on the internet are delighting about it, which I find interesting because, as you recall, I got into a great deal of trouble for playing Ding Dong the Witch is Dead when someone far worse than Perez Hilton, Ronald Reagan, died. Ronald Reagan actually caused people to die and let a generation die of AIDS and all kinds of horrible things. So, you know, he's a much worse person than Perez Hilton. But I got into big trouble, you know, when he died by basically playing Ding Dong the Witch is Dead. Now, and people on the left got into huge trouble when Charlie Kirk died by simply pointing out he was one of the biggest assholes on the planet and did not deserve to be shot, but that there's a special place in hell for him when he gets there. Oh no, that was too much. But Perez Hilton, who's not even dead yet, everybody is delighting in what he's done to himself. And they're justifying their hatred by saying out loud, well, he was a despicable person. He's done despicable things, so we can say, hey, karma's a bitch, boo-hoo. Oh, but we can't say that about Charlie Kirk. And when Donald Trump finally keels over and we all party like it's 1999, we can't say, you know, that's going to be wrong. We're going to be told that's wrong. That's hypocrisy, first of all. Second of all, I posted that below some photographer who's an asshole because he's out spilling secrets. He photographed Perez, and then he was asked by Perez who the biggest asshole he ever photographed was, and the guy said, outside of you, Christina Aguilera. And I'm like, you know what? You should not be out here spreading, you know, Christina Aguilera this and blah, 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 that. That's not what professional photographers do. But anyway, I posted under his thing about, you know, saying this about Charlie Kirk was too much, but you guys can say it about Perez Hilton. Well, I got a lot of online hate. Now, you all know that I get a lot of online hate. That's why I did the song, You Have to Be Proud with Hatred So Loud. Oprah, on her podcast this last week, had a guest on who wrote a book about online hate. And she did it because she turned off her comments. I know a lot of you say, well, don't read them, don't read them. You just do, even Oprah did. She turned off her comments because she got sick of the online hate. Oprah, who is one of the nicest people around, got sick of the online hatred being heaped upon her. Just this morning, in my DMs, my direct messages, just this morning, I got this. What's wrong with you playing rounds with little children? You're a fucking child molester. All you faggot child molesters are the same. You have this fascination of playing with little boys in their parents' basements. You fucking faggot. I hope you die. Someone DM'd that to me this morning. I woke up, I opened Instagram, it said you've got it, and I went and read the message, and that person, who doesn't know me, sent me that message. And he's not alone. I get those every day under my post. Now, I found out that 80% of the fake news that you see online, 80%, is posted by less than 0.1, not 1%, but 1/10 of 1% of social media users. 80% of the fake news you see is posted by 0.1% of online users. And as for hate comments like this guy, 100% of these comments are posted by less than 10% of social media users. 100% of hate comments are posted by less than 10% of social media users. So are we really divided as we think we are? Or is it a sham? Is it just perception?
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
You have to be proud with hatred.
Hey everyone, it's Karel, and I want to invite you to stream my new single, You Have to Be Proud, on Swishcraft Music. You Have to Be Proud by Karel. Go stream it, go march to it, go wave your rainbow flags and piss off MAGA to it. Do whatever you need to do to remind yourself and others we are stronger than ever and they can't have our pride.
You have to be strong.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Now why, after so many years of fighting the stigma of equating being gay with pedophilia, which was a 1950s thing, which was debunked and proven that gays are not pedophiles, why then, after that was debunked and left pop culture, they no longer equated gays to pedophiles, why do you suppose that person equates a gay person to a pedophile? And why do you suppose so many online users now call gay people pedophiles? Why do you think that is? MAGA and Donald Trump. Donald Trump and MAGA have now positioned trans people and gay people as pedophiles. Why? Because they themselves are pedophiles. Because Donald Trump is a statutory rapist who's in the Epstein files more than God. Literally, more than Christ is in the Bible. Because Alan Dershowitz and Rudy Giuliani and down the list of all of Epstein's people are actual people who sleep with 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls and 17-year-old girls. So they turned it, they deflected that. Because last year, 200 members of MAGA and the GOP were arrested for pedophilia. 200 members of MAGA and the GOP were arrested, and Christians, evangelical Christians, who identify as MAGA and GOP, were arrested for pedophilia last year alone, for child porn. Not Democrats, not drag queens, not gay men, not lesbians, cisgendered white MAGA men who profess to be Christians, arrested for pedophilia and child pornography. An overwhelming number of MAGA and the GOP are arrested every year for pedophilia and child pornography. Okay? And I have the stats. So if you're MAGA and you're GOP, don't get mad at me. Get mad at your members for going out and screwing children, because that's what they're doing. okay? Not gay people. So why do they call gay people that? Why does MAGA and the GOP? Because Donald Trump told them it's okay to do. Because their senators told them it's okay to do. Because their congresspeople told them it's okay to do. And because Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and all of them have said it's okay to do. Because they leave the comments up. You know, we're not as divided as social media would make you think. 54% of Americans surveyed said we are a divided nation. We're not. MAGA is less than 80 million people out of 330. That means there's 250 million Americans that are not MAGA, okay? And now we know that less than 10% of the people online are the ones that account for all of the hate comments. And now we know that 0.1% account for 80% of the fake news. Online is a lie. It's don't believe what online tells you. It's a lie. I don't even want to use social media anymore. I really don't. I really just want to post for the show, not read any comments, and not even go on it anymore. Because there's so many stupid people out there speaking on social media. And you watch them and you just get horrified. So I wrote a song called You Have to Be Proud. And I just did a video for it. If you're a patron, you already got that video. And every comment, every single comment in the video is real. Take a look.
You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You want to feel joy. You want to feel pride. You want to share love that you have inside. But just as you start to dance and sing, the loudness arises and hatred it brings. That's when you must rise and sing loud and clear. That's when you must rise and vanquish the fear. Don't let the darkness ruin your day. Like you shine, will still lead the way. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. So dance in the streets. Go ahead, show your pride. The haters can move. Let love move them aside. Just know that your soul isn't dancing alone. Just know that so many will help out the storms. Your pride is a rainbow. The colors so bright. It's something to cling to on the darkest of nights. So wrap yourself just a noise. So go carry on. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. You have to be proud with hatred so loud. You have to be strong when fighting so long. Ooh, oh no, you. Come on and fight, 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 fight. You have to be proud.
All right, there we go. That is my video for You Have to Be Proud. And it was written because of all the online hate that I and so many other LGBTQ people get every single day. Every day. And it's allowed, and people do it, and they're empowered to do it by Trump and by MAGA. And it makes us think that there's this big incivility going on. But that's what they want. They want a divided people. That's what they want. And so Trump, MAGA, Russia, China, they're going to do everything they can to make Americans think that we are at each other's throats, because that's how they win. They are winning, and they're doing it by making us all hate each other. It's working. But when you look and see that it's only 10% of the people online, 90% of people online are not posting those comments. The guy told Oprah something interesting. He said, you're in New York, there's a guy on the street harassing people, saying hateful things to people that are passing by. He might say them to 3 people, 5 people, 7 people, and then the cops come and they take him away. And that's it. No more hate from that person on that street. The problem online is these people just post all day long to various accounts, and nobody stops them. And if somebody tries to, like this morning, I reported that guy who sent me that DM, and Instagram sent me a note that said they have canceled his account. I'm sure he's already made another one. And so online, there's no one to pull you aside and stop you. And the companies really won't stop you. They won't. I mean, look at this. On Instagram, you can't say kill or shoot or rape or fuck, but you can spell it out weird. And instead of saying shooting someone, you can say pew pew. And instead of saying someone tried to kill themselves, you have to say they tried to unalive themselves. It's Orwellian newspeak, and it's stupid when there's so much damaging content on there that they could really be concerned with. But they're not. Should be, but they're not. So, are we as divided as we think we are? I don't know. I'm torn on that. I know it's a small percentage of people now online posting. And did you know that 1 in 3 people under 35 now live at home? 1 in 3. 33% of people under the age of 35 live at home because of expenses. That means, chances are, if you see a hateful comment online, it truly is coming from someone in their mother's basement. There's a 33% chance that it's coming from either someone in their mother's basement, or there's about a 90% chance that it's coming from some farm somewhere where there's just hundreds of people in a room making fake accounts and going online to cause hatred and bigotry. And we're falling for it. We're letting it divide us. I think the best thing for America tomorrow would be if all social media was shut down. Instagram, everything but YouTube. Everything but YouTube. YouTube is okay, you know? But Instagram, Twitter, or X, Facebook, No, shut that shit down. It serves no redeeming purpose at all. Shut it down. Because it's making us think things that aren't true. Fox News would make you believe that a majority of the people feel the way that they do. Yet their viewership is under 2 million people at their peak. 330 million Americans. Less than 2 million watch Fox News. It's not a powerhouse. It's not a juggernaut. That's not the way that most Americans feel. Dog videos get more views than Fox News. I'm not making that up. I mean, I could ask ChatGPT what the average viewership of Fox News is, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not 10, 20 million people. It's just not. What's the average daily viewership of Fox News? Let's see what it says. Let's see. It's thinking. If expenses keeping them home and fear of addressing challenges in life, I bet many are bots. Yeah, there are a lot of bots. There are. Let's see. Prime time. 1.6 to 1.7 million viewers. So, typical average viewers. The Five, 3.5 million. Jesse Waters, less than 3 million. Gutfeld, less than 3 million. Special Report, less than 3 million. Hannity, less than 2 million. Fox News total day, 1.5 million average.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
Now remember, the word is F-U-N-K, funk, honey. Do you want a funk?
Hey, it's Karel. Go stream Do You Wanna Funk? My tribute to Sylvester. Everywhere you get your music. Karel, Do You Wanna Funk?
Now it's showtime.
So, if someone says Fox News averages about 1.7 million viewers a day, they're talking about the overall for the whole day. And if they're saying, oh, it gets about 2.5 million viewers, they're talking about their prime time lineup. But look at that number. 330 million Americans. 1% is 3.3 million viewers. So at its peak, at its best, about 1% of America is watching Fox News. At its best. And yet we want to act like they're the be-all, end-all of, they're not. They could easily be ignored. 1% is a statistical anomaly. If Fox News were side effects from a drug, they would be inconsequential. Okay? Truly. So they're not this powerhouse. Everybody in the world is not watching Fox News. It's that simple. Like I started with this, we're not living the lives we want to live because of corporate America. We're not getting the solutions to problems that we want, like traffic, like poverty, like affordability. All of that is a problem because of corporations. The same applies to social media. We think we are more divided because of corporations paying for bot farms and paying for people to sit in a room, cause division, and promote an agenda. Political action groups and others paying these people, China, Russia, South America, Africa. 90% of MAGA influencers that the MAGA people follow are not even real accounts. We proved that already. We are being sold this bill of goods that we are this divided nation. We're not. They just don't want liberals to feel like other people think and feel like they do. But I think, Fayed, Abdul El-Fayed in Michigan proves otherwise. I think Mamdani proves otherwise. I think what corporations are scared to death of are people like Mamdani and Al-Fayed. I think they're so scared that they're launching full-scale, hugely funded attacks every day on these people, so the parents out there, and that's what I call them, will start regurgitating, socialism is bad, you're communist, you're socialist, you're communist, you're socialist. They don't know what it means. They're just parrots. That's all. MAGA is just a group of parrots. That's all they are. They just repeat what they hear. They don't understand it. They have no idea what it really means. They just repeat it. They're parrots. And they parrot what Trump and corporations tell them. Oh, well, we can't solve climate change. We're not even charged at causing it. Climate change has been around forever. They have no scientific facts. They don't know shit. They just know what they're told to hear. But it's not the truth. The truth is, we can fix the problems that we have by getting rid of corporate interest in so many areas. The truth is that MAGA is a minority movement by a minority president, by a small group of people, 80 million out of 350 million or 330 million. That's not even half. That's a quarter. 25%. Yes, it's 50% of voters, but it's only 20 to 25% of Americans. It is not. A majority of Americans did not vote for Donald Trump. A majority of Americans are not MAGA. But we're sold that bill of goods. Now, I'm not saying they're liberals, and I'm not saying they're progressives, or I'm simply saying that by the numbers, MAGA is about 25% of America. That's it. By the numbers. Yes, they're about 50% of the old voting bloc. I will be very interested after the midterms and the general to see how much they are then, because something tells me young kids are coming for MAGA. Young kids are coming, and that scares MAGA to death. And AIPAC. AIPAC is scared to death. AIPAC is scared that young people are tired of funding Israel. Because they are. I didn't say Jews, I said Israel. Young people, under 35, who are living at home, 33% of them, don't want to fund Israel. And anyone that tells you that they're a minority, no, they're becoming the majority. Here's the truth. A majority of Americans are starting to sour on funding Israel. That's the truth. But corporations don't want us to say that. AIPAC doesn't want that information to get out, so they do everything they can to suppress it. And 0.1% send out 80% of the fake news. Why? Because they're trying to suppress the real news. The real news is we're not as divided as we'd like to think. The real news is we're not as hateful as we are being presented. The real news is we're tired of funding outside wars and letting our country go to shit. But they don't want you to know that. The real news is that more people are concerned about the climate than not. But corporations don't want you to know that. They like their lives. Oil executives like their lives. Healthcare executives like their lives. They don't want you to know that we know their days are numbered. They're going to scratch and claw and do whatever they can to try to stay in power, including lie and divide us. And that's what they're doing with just a small portion of people. 10% of the people online are creating 100% of the hate comments. And 0.1% of the people are creating 80% of the fake news. And less than 3.5 million people a day watch Fox. What does that tell you? Now, granted, MSNBC and CNN have even lower numbers. I mean, they're real low. What were they? I think I have more viewers than they do. MSNBC, which is MS Now, 600,000. A million for some of their shows. Rachel Maddow gets 1.1 million. All right, I am CNN 500,000 because they're crap. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. If I'm going to hurt anybody, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to become a patron at patreon.com/ReallyKarel. And then like and subscribe and share the videos. Mwah! Much love to you all.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.